I can check actually. I can check and see if I'm on Twitch myself. Let's do that. Let's do that. I've recently had to reset my my streaming settings. So if this is a false alarm, it's fine. We'll just delete it and we'll go from there. So I should be. Yeah, there we go. We're live on YouTube. This is fine, and we'll just check that we're live on. No, we want to check that we're live on Twitch as well. Twitch. Let's just check. Yes, we are streaming, boys. Everything is fine.
Called kidnapped because the first three letters
is fine and good. So, welcome to everybody. Obviously, welcome to nobody right now. But if you're watching on YouTube, well, welcome to you as well. It's good to see you. What we're going to do is we are going to first of all get some. Let's quickly go ahead and just let everyone. And yeah, while we're just going, if you guys got any questions, how are you doing today? How's your wonderful day going? At this point, looking forward to showing you a really good game today. We'll get into more on that in a second. But yeah, on the build that was originally used, let's full screen that. There we go. It's my own take on the. You know, I'm always fine time to be late, Liam. And yes, Vince, it is the Starville build, just with my own take on it. And you can ask Phil why he thinks that the thing is bad. Is there any way we'll get onto that in a second? Basically, I think my mic is just quiet. We'll see what I can do. I'll just go into my mic settings and do that myself. But yes, let's just get this posted on socials. There we go, and right, let's copy past that one and chuck it into a couple of important groups, shall we? Let's do some rebellion and everything else. Just scream at everything. My computer inputs, I believe. But let's see. Let's go into settings and see if we can boost that. But hey, you can mic settings up, and that's fine. To be fair, I already have it maxed out on the. I already have it maxed out on the system. We'll work it out, and we'll see if we can get it a bit louder. I mean, I might. What I could do is I could put my other headphones on. Let's see if that makes life any better. Let's try it. Let's just change inputs for a second and see if it works. We'll see what happens. It might be good. It might be awful. We'll see. Right. So. Yes. I know. Everyone's complaining about them. Right. So. Oh, that's better. Here we go. Where? Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. Let's just eat the microphone. You should totally check out Gundarks. Oh, okay. So I should have just for a review of a game. This is not live. As you can see, this is the Gundart stream. Gundart stream is amazing. Shout out to Nobby, basically. Yeah, I think I really enjoyed this game. This was a very, very fun game. I think I don't know. Could I have flown it better? Possibly. I definitely need to work out how to get the most out of Miranda, but we'll get into that in a second. I very much enjoyed the game, and there's a reason that I'm going to show it to you, because I think not only because I think it was a good game, which is quite important, but also there's a few important things that were done in the game that I think are a good learning experience. So yeah, we'll put those in, and hopefully we can learn together. There we go. And for those of you thinking that diamond boron missiles are bad, I don't believe you. It's a 5-point upgrade for a 3-dice gun that terrifies swarms. And yeah, it's a bit coin flippy, but I like it. It scares people, and I think that's what really you want to go for. Yeah, like Diamond Boron is a I feel like one of the I like in my okay, let's go into so you can see the chat a bit better. Let's make that smaller. There we go. We'll pop that there. We'll move the chat over to where's my chat box? There's my chat box. Let's move the chat over here. Okay, chat, you're going for a walk. There we go. Let's put the chat there. Sorry, Gundarks. Your philosophy in this building is that well, you know what? We got the 186 logo up there. I might just we'll leave it here. Yeah, my philosophy in this building um, is that you should always be catering for your list's weakest matchup, right? You should always be catering for your list's weakest matchup. So in my mind, this list's weakest matchup is the Swarm off. I feel like the Swarm can outjoust it, and that's a problem, right? So if the Swarm is outjousting your list, then what can you do to solve that? Well, you can add bombs, which is something that the original version did. It had 2 bombs. It had 1 bomb on um, Dutch, because obviously I've changed out Dutch in this list, but it also had 1 bomb on the Hawk. However, in my view, one of the strongest things that you can do against a Swarm is you can put engine upgrade on the Hawk, which is what I've done. Engine upgrade is amazing. It's really, really good for allowing Jan to get out of trouble, especially having the 3 forwards and boost option available to you if she's stressing herself. Hey, Link, good to see you. If you are thinking about how else to counter Swarm, well, what else can you do? What can you put in the list? Well, you can put in a super maneuverable ship, and a K-Wing is actually really quite maneuverable. It takes its picks. It is dark. It's because I haven't played it yet. It's just on the waiting screen. If I hit play, you see it gets lighter. Look at that. But yeah, so if we're dealing with a Swarm, I've put in a hyper maneuverable ship in Miranda. I've also put in a ship that is capable with the Diamond Boron missiles of facing down a Swarm and doing a ridiculous amount of damage. It's essentially a death rain. It points at the Swarm and goes, right, you don't want to come here because I will do more damage to you. That's the idea, and that's what I was thinking with this. I'm getting there. This is still in the learning process for the list, which I will talk about during this game, which is quite key in terms of how you develop a list and how you come to fly a list, because you shouldn't. Thanks. Good to see you, Louis. You shouldn't be expecting to fly a list at its top capacity as soon as you pick it up. I think a lot of people will pick up a list and go, oh, that was useless. And it's like, well, yeah, because you haven't worked out a deployment for it. You haven't worked out how to engage everything properly. And most importantly, you haven't worked out the asteroid deployment for it either. So what you'll see in this game is you'll see me testing some of those things. And I haven't quite got it right yet, but it's useful to be able to see how that goes. So yeah, there we go. Learning. We're learning together. Learning with science. So let's get on with it. I'm gonna let the video play in the background. I may skip on for a little bit. Let's skip forward to the asteroid deployments. So talking about rocks for these 2 lists. As the rocks are going down, we'll talk about the rocks, and then over the first couple of turns, we can have a bit of a chat about the lists themselves. It's important here to note where I put the first rock and why. I placed the first rock over here. The reason for that is I'm playing against Jedi, and I don't want them to easily be able to come around the flank. So it may seem weird. Why put the rock in the middle if you don't want the Jedi to come around the flanks? Well, because they're more maneuverable than me, it's a lot easier for them to get around a flanking asteroid than it is for my entire 4-ship formation, because it is 4-ship rebels at the end of the day. Even though I may set up a bit more spread, it's 4-ship rebels. So the reason I'm not placing an asteroid on the outside in this corner or this corner is because I don't want to be contending with that asteroid at the edge of the board. If I want to be able to be flanking, to stop the flank, I've got to make sure that there is nothing to create a flank around. So I place this asteroid dead in the center, not right up against the board edge, and close enough to the board edge to prevent XY putting the asteroid here. Also, something that I should mention, I'm playing XY. XY is amazing. He is Australian SOS champion. He is from Singapore. He's a really, really good player, and the guy can sing a lot better than I can. So seriously, if you are scarred for life by that amazing rendition of a song that I did, then you know, go see XY singing. He posts regular things on his Facebook, so if you're lucky enough to be friends with him, I just pretend to be friends with him. I'm across the other side of the world. He's a really nice guy though, and a very good X-wing player. Um, so hey Phil, hey Di, and Fishcake World, you win points for having a really cool name. So back to this. That's why this rock goes here. And XY has been sensible. He has placed this rock over here. Um, because he doesn't want me to be able to come in the flank, at which point I respond by getting the third asteroid out the way. The reason I bring rocks with this list, even though they're slightly bad for me, is because they're worse for a swarm. Again, encouraging you to make your hardest matchups easier by making your easier matchups a little bit harder. So I take 3 big rocks because it's worse for the swarm. I put this one in the middle, spaced. Again, you can turn into this area, like you have space in the middle that you can fly. So that's why I did that. And now there is only gas clouds, which I care a lot less about, and the Jedi quite like. So XY puts one over here, probably because he's planning on coming to me in terms of the Jedi, and he wants something to hide behind. So that was XY's place. And where do I put the next one? If you're interested, I got given the initiative in this. I'm running on 200, he's running on 195. We'll deal with that in a second. For now, I put this one over here. I don't really mind it being over on his side. I'm just trying to keep it out of the way. I'm making channels, and he puts his one over here. So asteroids-wise, not too unhappy. Hey, Di, good to see you. Yeah, I'm not too unhappy about this asteroid placement. I don't like this one. That one is in the way, which is why you'll see Miranda point this direction, because she doesn't want to be dealing with this asteroid. This asteroid shuts down her maneuverability a bit too much. Oh no, sorry, that's fine. Okay, so list-wise, as I'm deploying here, let's talk through my list first. Some of you may have seen it before. As Vince said at the start, Starvald, who won the Polish National Championships, came up with this monster. And maybe it wasn't him that actually made it in the first place, but the whole principle behind this list is that your Wookiee, your angry Wolf Waro over here, he has a targeting computer. In Starvald's version, he had Dutch, but he has a way of getting target locks. He then gets a concussion bomb dropped on his head in the first turn, which does nothing to the shields but gives him a damage card. Okay, that's important. He has a damage card. He now has a 4-dice gun. He's gone down to a 7 health Wookiee, but he is an utter beast because Jake gives him a focus. He takes a target lock himself in this build, or Dutch gives him a target lock in the other one, and suddenly you've got, with Jan, a 5-dice primary gun. It's so scary, and it's 180 arc, so it's just the ultimate anti-ace kit. As well as this, Jake is there to give focus tokens. Jan is there to be really good at what she does, which is boost other people and still have a 3-dice primary backed up by focus tokens. And Miranda, I really dislike Y-Wings, so I put Miranda in there for the reasons we talked about at the start. I think she's more maneuverable. She's got the Diamond Boron. I do miss the Ion a little bit, but I think the damage output is probably better. Right. So. That's my list. Let's just have a look at the deployment I've got here. You can see Wolf Waro is sitting behind Miranda in the danger zone, ready to get bombed. What you'll also notice that Miranda has a reload on her dial, so that you can reload the bomb and still have the concussions for later. I've also got the fuses. There we go. We've got delayed fuses because delayed fuses are really, really nice with concussion bombs. They just shut off some areas. I think that's it for my list. Oh, Zeb, because it's hilarious when the ace tries to crash into you and forgets that you've got Zeb. Or if you hit your way straight into the front of the swarm, you can still shoot the first ship that you may be damaged on the way in. XY's list. XY's list is super interesting, and you can see here he's gone for some slightly offset deployment shenanigans. Most of his list uses bullseyes. Shout out to Nobby for not noticing that I put a porg in the dice tray for like a solid 3 minutes, and I had to pick it up and get it out. He was just really confused. But yeah, so the list here, all of it depends on Bullseye's. He has, let's start off with Rick. Rick is the ultimate distraction. He's got Predator, which is really annoying, and he has an R2 astromech. Basically, don't chase Rick. He has essentially 7 health because he will probably use his R2 by the time you've managed to catch him, unless you get him in a single turn, which is unlikely. He often has 3 defense dice. He doesn't do that much damage. Welcome bots. Right, we need to ban that one. I need to ban the bots. I need a night bot. Manage moderation settings. Here we go. Moderation. Block hyperlinks. Tick. There we go. Sorted. And back to there. That should now be sorted. Save. Banned chatters. Username. What is it? QACDROM 1339. I really should set up the bots. Add. Banned. Goodbye. Okay. Back to chat. Back to chat. Refresh chat. There we go. So, anyway. Righty. So back to this. So yeah, in terms of this, Rick is annoying. He's a distraction. Generally, don't shoot him. That's the game. Whenever you play against Rick, he's not normally worth the effort to kill him. The problem in this game are the Jedi. The problem in this game is the Jedi, because the Jedi are hyper maneuverable, and if Wolf 40 dies, then I lose to those Jedi because they can just outmaneuver me. Jedi moving last. Everything in this list by X-Way is initiative 5, sorry, and he has the bid, so everything moves after me. So you've got Plo, you've got Obi. Sense is useless in this game, but that's fine. It's there for the anti-ace game. I approve. And you've also got Oddball. Now, Oddball is 36 points of annoying, and I need to fly him more. XY has enlightened me to how good this little ship is, because he can barrel roll, and as long as something's in bullseye, he gets the target lock. He can evade barrel roll target lock for his prockets, and then he gets past the focus token by Plo, which is utter nonsense. It's a really good trick, and I approve so hard. Now, you can see system phase. We got this concussion bomb going on, so the concussion bomb happens. Jake does a hard one in a barrel roll, starts charging up Jan's focus tokens. I was kind of making up this deployment as I went along, and I wasn't quite sure if stuff would fit. So reloads the bomb. Hello, thank you for the follows. Good stuff. KZ Wag. So Wag or Wag? I feel like you got 69 in your name. I don't know, like, nice. That's it. That's about it. What am I using for shield tokens? I'm using Porgs, because Porgs are adorable. I saw these shield tokens and I saved them because they're cute. Anyway, so shout out to Gareth and Phil, Geraint and Phil, who were commentating this game. You should totally go and watch the actual version of this game by the Gundarks, because it's hilarious and Phil is mean to me on regular occasions. It's actually, yeah, it's a good game to watch. Wag, there we go. Cause Wag. Yeah, exactly. Bring on the orcs. Think about Miranda and how no one plays it. Yeah, I think Miranda could be good. Phil told me I'm wrong, but I do think that Miranda is better in this list than Dutch, because no one expects the Sun 5 dice Miranda. Hey, there we go. Enos. Yeah, I think what people don't see with Miranda is they don't see the 5 dice into Jan, into spending, because you get range 1 and you go, oh, it's a 2 dice turret, and then Jan boosts her and she spends a shield and suddenly it's scary. I can I can actually. I can. Let's turn the alert box down. There we go. I can probably mute the alert box. This view account. I think that's, yeah, we'll do that. There we go. Let's turn the alert box down, and then you can turn the rest of it up. Okay. So yeah, in terms of this then, like first couple of turns, we're being cagey, right? We're slowly. XY is just like, nope, don't want to get close to that Wookiee. He does not want to get anywhere near the Wookiee. Hey, Leon, good to see you. Yeah, so in terms of this, XY is wasting time. I'm wasting time. Like you can see, I've stopped the Wookiee. Woof, woof. Um, we've yeah, Wookiee stopped. Jan just on bank and focused. Miranda's kind of wasting her time over here. All in all, just kind of waiting and going, right, where are we going to engage? I'm immediately thinking here, yeah, sorry, links don't work. If you want to watch the original stream, check out Fearless Gundarks, twitch.tv/Fearless Gundarks. You can check it all out there. These guys are great. Also, watch the game with Alex Burton beforehand. This is only about half of the games that they put on their day. So just want to address as we're going to the planning phase here. The reason why I made some of these decisions. You can see that I've kind of turned away from this original corner that I was going to go down. Clearly, I cannot ignore the three ships over here. Even though Rick is annoying, I can't ignore him completely. But I also have to threaten Obi-Wan enough that he goes away. So I'm threatening the idea that Miranda can come down here. Jan is just there for support. Wolf Waro is going to continue to come up the middle of the board and threaten absolutely everything. This is the reason why I like putting Wolf in the middle of the board. It might seem like he's a bit of a weakness there, but he's actually quite... If you put him in a corner, people can kind of try and get around him, and they'll just fly around the board for a little bit. Whereas if you put him in the center, you can just point him at things and he can do his job. I'm looking at this and going, okay, I can make the most of these two asteroids in the center. Was that hello there a bit quieter? Like, was that better for you guys? Let me know. I'm trying to make the most of the asteroids in the center to split off Oddball from my ships and make it difficult for him. I know where Oddball is going, so I should be able to manage that a bit more. Miranda with initiations and bonds is super annoying exercise and working out how to approach without dying. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like approaching Miranda is often quite hard. That's annoying. Sorry, I can't. I don't think I can turn that down. Let's see if I can. Alert box, properties. No, 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 no. Frustrating. Oh well, I need to look at that. But yeah, for some reason my mic settings have been a bit able. I had to completely reinstall my computer, which was very frustrating. Let's see. I can delete it. I think let's just remove the alert box at the moment. Obi-Wan's fun, but we don't really need it. Alrighty. So here we go. This is where it starts to get interesting. So Miranda's coming here. You can see that I'm now committing away from Obi-Wan. I'm keeping a bit of side arc still. So Miranda still has her side arc available. She's bringing the side cannon into play. If I need to spend a dice and get jam boosted, I absolutely will. Wookiee just did a one bank. Again, keeping threat for the center of the board. Obi-Wan can't come in too hot because the Wookiee is still going to have some options for the side arcs. Jake, again, just parking tokens to Jan. Wasn't sure if Jan was going to fit there, but I wanted to get her involved. I wanted to keep her close, and I didn't want to leave her stranded with Obi-Wan behind. The issue that I had here is that if you leave Jan over there, if you sort of like one forwards there, the next turn you can see Obi-Wan has a lovely little line that he's going to come in this way, and I didn't want Jan to get super threatened. Jake needs to be behind the list already. Now for XY here, this is where it gets interesting because he's being super cagey, as you can see. Obi-Wan, cool. Like, it was obvious that Obi-Wan was going to come around this area. I didn't know how fast. XY has the ability to just choose where he moves after he dials in maneuvers. Because his ship's so maneuverable, he just does one bank and then goes, cool, I'm going to go over here, or I'm going to reposition and go back here. He's decided to hold the flank with Obi. Oddball came in, wasn't sure what Oddball was going to do. I thought he was either going to go faster or slower. So Oddball is in a relatively good position here. And this is, I've already made my first mistake, if you like. My first mistake was not figuring out the right deployment for Miranda. You see here that Miranda is just a little bit too far forwards compared to the rest of the squad. What I have since done is I've since worked out a better deployment that allows her to be in a similar position. But basically, if you pick her up and move her so that this edge of her base is touching this edge, it's a bit more like that, and that's better. I prefer it. But in this game, Miranda was a bit further forwards, which is useful. Like, she is a massive blocking threat for this game. If we're thinking about what each ship's job is, Wolf gets to vaporize Jedi, Jake passes focus tokens, Jan is annoying, provides arc threat and stays alive, and Miranda is the blocking monkey. She cannot get her diamond borings off very well because it's very hard to get locks. Yeah, so also flying at angles is great. Like, I should do it more. It works really well if you don't bother, because a lot of people fly the ships based on, like, okay, that was a 45 degrees, so I know that that's going to be on angles. Like, just have a look at the ships and see how they're facing, and then go from there. If you've played the ships enough, then it works. It's fine. So we can see that flying again, still stalling. Rick isn't liking his life too much at the moment. I feel like maybe Rick should have boosted there. I don't know. It depends on XY's game plan. I feel like if you want to create three prongs of attack, if you're an ace player and you're trying to dismantle a list like this, you want to make the list decide where they're going to face. And in this situation, I had a decision of either pointing at 3 ships or pointing at 1 ship. If Rick had gone a bit further down here, then I would have had to make the decision of, okay, I've now got 3 directions that I can point at. Which one's the correct direction? Whereas for now, obviously, I'm letting Obi flank me, which isn't ideal, but it's a lot better to point at these guys than it is to point at Obi-Wan. Because if I point at Obi-Wan, these guys just hit me in the back, and that's bad news. That is bad news. So, in terms of this engagement, then, where do you guys think I'm going? I'm curious. What would you do in this situation? Like, where do you think the rebels are going to pick? Like, who would you kill? Who would you point at? And if you're from the Jedi perspective, which ship do you want to focus on first? Like, which ship do you want to get off the board? Because I know my ideas going into this game. My idea was that I was going to have to kill the Jedi first and try and ignore Rick and Oddball for as long as possible. That was the idea. Oddball is annoying because he does a lot of damage, but is only 36 points, so it's not exactly a massive payoff going for Oddball, although he is the easiest ship in the list to kill, so that's worth noting. So yeah, it's an interesting situation that we've ended up in. Obviously, the Wookiee and Miranda have got relatively open options. I did seriously consider slamming Miranda on this turn, so let's move onwards and let's go to deployments. So there we go. Let's go a bit further back. Cool. So at this point, Obi-Wan is most expensive. Block on Rick means you can wipe him out. Correct. He doesn't complete his move. So if you block Rick, then you could kill him in one go. You could kill him in one go. It's a good call. If you can catch him, though. And in this situation, Rick is a bit too far away. Next turn is the danger turn for Rick compared to this turn. Yeah, and it is. If you're a Republic, you punish Miranda for being so far out. Rebels, you can go for Plo, keep the arts wide. And yeah, so I mean, essentially, XY has done a really good job of burning time and just setting up. So you can see here that Miranda comes in. She doesn't want to engage too hard. I considered going straight and keeping her going around this way because I could go 2 forwards, use the side arc there, and then come sort of 2 forward slam 2 next turn and come around the side. Hey, Gavin. Um, but I decided, no, you know what? She's got the health. I'm going to provide her as a like. She's going to get shot a few times here, but she's going to be fine. Like she's at long range. She's got a focus from Jake. Sorry, she's got a focus from herself. She'll be okay. Like I'll take a couple of hits because if she survives this turn, which like she's got 9 health, she's fine. Then what she can do is she can provide all of the blocking threat for next turn because she can get target lock. So she can either just do like a 1 forwards and threaten to diamond bore on something, or she can do a 3 bank and block something on the back line. Yeah, it's an interesting one. And again, it's the same with the Hawk, I suppose, Dan, because yeah, 5 health to agility. Sometimes they are absolute paper, and other times you can just never kill them. So Jake goes in there. He gives focus tokens. I was actually intending to block Jan here. The Wookiee goes down this way. I wasn't sure on barrel rolls, but I decided to let me just talk about this for a second here. So the reason that the Wookiee came down here, I could have just come in here and threatened in the center. But if I have all of my ships going in the center, it provides Rick a really easy angle around the outside, which I didn't want. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to provide him with a very, very, very nice 3 hard around the corner that threatens Rick. Alternatively, with Jake's positioning here, Jake can hard 2 next turn. Miranda moves, Jake hard 2s, gives Wolf a focus, and Wolf stops. So if Rick is committed hard to this corner and thinking, oh, I can get behind him, Wolf just stops and punches him in the face, which is great. Now, Jan here, I was actually expecting Jan to bump. I wasn't expecting the 1 bank to clear, which is, if I just wander back to there, the bump would have allowed Wolf Warrior to still be in Jan's arc. That was the plan. And it would have also allowed Jan to be a bait for Obi-Wan because she's got the side arc. She can either trigger Jake for 3 dice, which would mean that Jake gets the 3 dice against Obi. If Miranda survives her shields, like she keeps her shields alive, then Miranda could do a 4 dice cannon into Obi-Wan as well. Alternatively, she can boost Wolf up to 5 dice and smack Rick in the face. So blocking Miranda was the plan. I wasn't quite sure where these moves were going to end up, so I was just like, okay, well, I'll put Jake in the way just in case. Do the 1 bank because the 1 bank is right where I need to be. And then thought, okay, I'm going to block Miranda with Jake. However, I don't quite block her. Ends up squeaking past, which is not awful. I don't mind it, but it does mean that her arc is not quite where I wanted it to be. She can now only boost Miranda's shot, which is frustrating and not what I wanted for this turn. I was expecting to be able to boost Jake when Obi came in. But that was fine. That was my mistake. Possibly because I bumped into Miranda last turn. Anyway, now life gets interesting. We have XY coming in for the kill. At this point, Oddball doesn't like his life. Oddball has made a bad choice. He's coming hard. He's coming fast. But he's still threatening his proton rockets. Now, at this point, I wasn't sure in terms of range because the thing is that he can barrel roll, he can get his target lock, and that's fine. If he stays still there, he's not going to get his focus. He's not going to get his rockets off because he's not in range 2 in the bullseye. If he barrel rolls, he's not going to get a focus. I didn't realize that Plo could pass the focus. So he barrel rolls there and just like, okay, it might be range 2. It's really close, but okay, if it is, it is. It means I get the proton rockets off onto Miranda, who is the least valuable ship and is the one that's capable of taking the proton rockets. I was like, this is fine. Like we check it, it is range 2. It's like, right, not ideal, but like it is what it is, and I'll take it. If I was going to take proton rockets on any ship, I'm glad it's not Jan or Wolf Warrow. Rick comes in 3 bank. Didn't expect that. I was expecting him to go forwards, which is why Wolf Warrior was there. Which is it's a good angle. It gets it just is going to get the Predator onto Miranda because you can see the slight tilt on the ship there. I'm surprised he went in that hard because if Miranda had done the forwards move here, then Rick would have just been in no man's land. I suppose he was considering getting away this way next round, like he was trying to escape around the rock because he saw Wolforo and just like, oh no, we don't want that. So he's given himself good options both left, right, and forwards in terms of escaping, which is something you always want to do with aces. What you'll notice is a good ace player will always provide a lot of options for their ships. They never try and shut down options. Right now, Oddball has a lot of options shut down, as does Obi-Wan. We know where Obi-Wan's going. Obi-Wan is going 2 places. He's going here or here. Well, we'll see, Dan. We'll see. Shenanigans are coming. So Plo, at the start of engagement, spends a force and gives the focus token. Yeah, that I didn't see that coming either. That was nice. I enjoyed that. I gave XY some applause. So at this point, not ideal, not really nice, but Jan has a shot, and just want to explain my target priority here. Obi is in arc of 3 ships. Jan has the side arc, Miranda has the side arc, and Jake has the arc on Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is the correct target in almost all situations. However, as soon as that focus token goes onto Oddball, if Jan shoots Oddball here, then she has the option of spending his focus. If he rolls triple eyeball out of hand, he almost has to spend that focus. Alternatively, I get free damage. So it may seem weird shooting a focus and evade ship through an asteroid, but I'm not doing it for damage. I'm doing it because I want to get rid of Oddball's tokens and remove the threat onto Miranda. So that's why I'm taking that shot. So we take the primary onto Oddball, and there we go, 2 crits out of hand. Torrent never wants to be seeing that. And XY rolls, and he rolls 2 of them out of the box. Good question, Phil. I am playing this weekend, and no, I'm not going to tell you what I'm playing because lists aren't in yet. So don't ask me stupid questions. And no evades. Haha, sucks to be him. However, he decides to take the crit. He's just like, nope, these proton rockets are going off. Oddball is 36 points of a single job, and that is to shoot something really hard in the face. Takes the crit, and even though I was wishing for a blinded pilot, it was a damaged engine. So, you know. Not terrible, actually. I'll take a single damage. Pretty good start on that one. And over to the Jedi. So Jan has had her pop. She has a go, and got some decent damage in. So this I wasn't expecting. This was a good shot by XY. I don't think he was expecting it either. He manages to get, because of the angle and everything else, he does manage to get the unobstructed shot with the bullseye. So Obi-Wan has a go. Pop shot at Miranda with 2 dice plus the eyeball, and goes, yeah, we're going to see what we can do. So rolls 2, gets a hit crit out of hand, which I was reasonably sad about. Spends the force, and I take 2 shields, which isn't fun. But not terrible. It's just like, okay, this is fine. Got 7 health still, should be okay. Right, so clearly Plo is out of range. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Germany this weekend. For anyone who doesn't know, German Nationals happening this weekend. It's going to be great fun. 6 rounds on day 1 and cut of top 16 or 32 on day 2. And yep, Rick has a go, does 2. There we go, boop boop. Miranda gets 1 again, absolutely fine. Like this was kind of expected. Just like, right, okay, I'll take 2 shots, take shields, not a problem. He's got the bullseye on me with the proton rocket, so this is going to hurt, but it's not awful. Like, I'll be okay. And then we get the monster. We get this marksmanship, 3 crits, blank out. Oh boy. So before anyone complains about dice, XY managed to engineer an engagement where he got 3 bullseyes on a single ship. very well done. I mean, if I had done the three bank with Miranda, then I would have blocked odd ball and it would have been fine. Uh, it and Rick wouldn't have even had a shot on me. He would have had to boost for a shot, which would have meant he would have boosted into range of Jan, and he would never have done that. So we flipped the coin. Yeah, that's 3 shots and 9 health gone. So I haven't put that through a dice calculator yet. I wasn't sure if that was unusual. It felt unusual. Felt like I should have taken less. What stings is not doing anything to Rick as well, because I was hoping to have the 5 dice cannon, and obviously, as I said, I missed Jan. So at this point, you're kind of going, okay, good game, well played. You've done a single damage to the torrent for a K-wing, and that hurts. Thankfully, Jake is amazing. Um, Jake always pulls his weight and actually does a damage here to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan says, oh God, and panics and takes the long range damage. Yeah, it was that was a bit that was a bit painful. But yeah, it hurt a bit. It hurt a bit, but we're okay. With the key point, and this is the reason why I wanted to go over this game, is because there was a couple of things that were posted to me recently about the concept of tilt. And at what point do you go on tilt? At what point do you go, oh God, this is awful, like I've lost? Because we have not lost this game. What we've done is we've lost the fillership, because Miranda that's what she is. That's what Dutch is. And actually, no, this is why I wanted to take Dutch out of the list, because in that list, Dutch is the most vulnerable ship, and he is actually the core of the list, because he's the one that is giving. Thank you, Tim. We like the follows. He's the one that is giving the target locks out. So what I've done here is I've changed it so that Wolf Warrior can take his own target locks. Jake is providing him with focus tokens, and we're now in a situation where the 4th ship can operate on its own. It can do its own thing, which is why I wanted to put Miranda in the list. Now, obviously, in this game, she basically didn't do anything, which was frustrating. However, if I lose her, as I just did, and she's the one that's always putting herself in stupid positions and trying to block things, if I lose her, I have not lost the game, which is really, really, really important. So this was what I wanted to get across, is that yes, frustrating, but game is not immediately over if you lose Miranda, which is important. So good engagement, favorable dice, certainly winnable from here. I mean, it's rough. I mean, you've got 4 ships against 3, and the 4 ships are the aces. So it's like, oh boy. But you've got to remember that we have the very angry Wookiee. So at this point, what I have to do is I have to make sure that I am minimizing risk. I need to make sure that my ships do more damage than his. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So at this point, I need to get my ships into a position where they are threatening and not just taking smacks. I'm expecting XY to go a bit more aggressive here, because now he's got the boot to the throat. He can increase the aggression. So Jake actually goes in for a block. Most people would expect Jake to come over here and give Wolf the focus token. So it's like, right, I'm gonna play off that. I'm thinking Obi is gonna go short again and see what I'm gonna do. So Jake comes in to block Obi. It'd just be annoying. Wolf comes around the corner and basically just threatens people. And Jan needed to stay alive. So 4 forwards and a boost puts her in a perfect position to maybe block Plo. Alternatively, it should get her out of the problem of Rick and Oddball. Obi-Wan is hopefully getting blocked, and even if Obi-Wan doesn't get blocked, then Jan has a side arc on him, and it's threatening Plo as well. So there we go. Yeah, and I agree with Nobby. Like, she didn't do nothing. She tanked the first engagement. She took all of the damage that I didn't need on my other ships. So whilst I did lose Miranda for it, she did a very useful job, which is eating that proton rocket and a lot of aggression. Basically, you're trading a ship for board position. which is never normally advisable, but in some situations can work. And it seems to have worked here. I've caught out XY. This, I mean, Rick is doing basically nothing this turn. Okay, he might get a shot on Jake. 2 dice, wonderful. Doesn't really care. Yeah, so you've got that. You've got the torrent, which is now like, well, I can't turn. I'm in trouble. So the torrent is just going, where do I go? I don't know what to do. Obi's obviously blocked, and yeah, and Plo is, as you're about to see, Plo did not expect Jan to be there. She did not expect anything to be there. So Plo's just like, oh, I'm going to 2 forwards. Oh, God, there is a rebel in my face. So needs to do something about this because Plo does not want to be jousting the hawk, even if he had the bullseye here, which I'm fairly sure he doesn't because of his slight off angle. This is where the off angle does work against XY. He's taking a 4 dice primary back as well as Wolf Warrow because Wolf Warrow is absolutely murdering Plo here. So he can't stay there. He absolutely can't stay there. So he's got to get out of the way. All right. Yeah, absolutely, Phil. Concept of trading things. Is no one playing on Vassal? I try and play on Vassal, and I've been really enjoying playing on Vassal a bit more now that the league has started again because there's more people on there just looking for games. Uh, I It's faster to get a game on TTS, which is why I've been playing more games on TTS. Also, shout out to the Gundarks. They asked if I could come and play, so I had a game on TTS. I've been playing on TTS to practice for this weekend because VAS and TTS are slightly like I get my eye in for TTS because it's not quite the same as Vassal. So anyway, going for shots. Wolf Warrow meta, yeah. I mean, Wolf Warrow is pretty damn scary. So Jan's going to take the range 1, has a pop at Plo. Why not? 3 versus 3, see what happens. And I did consider whether or not to spend this. I spend it in the end because I have the shot with Wolf Warrow. If it was only a single shot, I think on average dice I wouldn't have done a damage, so I would have decided not to. But you never know. I got lucky here. I am a vassal. I am a vassal head. I love my vassal. This sideways view offends me. It should be top down. I look at all of my board games top down. Yeah, I think it's the decision to spend was keeping Jan healthy, and if you have the focus tokens of defense, it's quite helpful. But at this point, I'm down. I need to spend it. So Obi has a go. He's got a shot onto Jan, so why not take it? And XY continues to roll fire. Oh God. So Jan is now out of focus tokens. Not ideal, but she did a damage to Plo, so it was worth it. Does actually catch Jake as well, and unmodded shot, but might as well take it. And as I said, absolute fire. Oh God, please stop with the natties. Thankfully, Jake does dodge, but it stings a little bit. Was not expecting to take a shield there. Plo took a single damage. Hey, nice. Yeah, it's good to get some games on Vassal Catchy. Did Plo take damage? Yes, Plo did take damage. He took a single point. They'll get there with the overlay eventually. And thankfully, Jake goes, nope, don't care about Plo. Go away, stop it. So with the angle, Jake has no shots, but Angry Wookie is angry, and we've got 4 versus 4 into Plo as well. So they'll get there eventually with the overlay. It's fine. And Wookie says, screw you, have 3 hits at long range. And it's a good thing that Plo took a focus, because otherwise that would have been a very sad Jedi. But even so, still takes a crit and is a hull breach. Face up damage for the hull breach. So end of this round, it is now looking a lot closer. I took a single point of damage on Jake for half points on Plo. This is where I need to be. So at this point, if you take that trade after the horrendous first engagement, this is it's still looking like a very close game. Um, because importantly, like Oddball is completely out of the fight. He's got a damage engine. Um, the hull upgrade is absolutely not a blank crit, and Plo is in a really bad position. Uh, yeah, I mean, it was he did roll some pretty good dice, but then they came back and bit him when it came to his greens. His reds were good and his greens were poor, and he flew well, so he deserved the good dice. Like if he's getting bullseyes all the time, then fair enough. That 3 dice out of hand from the torrent was a bit annoying, but it was fine. Jake didn't really uh, feel the shields too much. So at this point, like fairly obvious moves from the Hawk and the Wookie. The Hawk is going to be turning hard 2 here. Nice, easy hard 2 turn around the corner. Wookie hard 3 into the gap, or maybe a hard 2. I wasn't quite sure where Plo was going because Plo could escape this way. So I thought, right, if I do the hard 3, he might be able to get past the arc. So if I do the hard 2, then it means that he'll be in a good position. And also, I don't get too close to this asteroid. Doing the hard 3 and not being able to turn down this way seemed like a bad decision. So I wanted to always be thinking when you're doing your moves, you always want to be thinking about next turns and where you're going to go after that. So there we go. In terms of this, then, where does Jake go? Because the hard one is obvious. Yeah, it's a really fun list. I'd recommend it, Andreas. I was kind of I was looking at yours. I tried it with a K-wing. If you're interested, I tried it with K2SO, the pilot, and that works really well. But then you don't get reloading bombs, which is a bit sad. So, but yeah, give it a go. I know you love your rebels, Andreas. Um, Red was good. Yeah, Armageddon. No, yeah, no shit, no shit on that one. Yeah, his reds were pretty spicy. Anyway, in terms of this, where is Plo going? Because that's the real question. If you can catch Plo, you win the game. Because essentially, Oddball is out of it. He's never turning around. He's got a damaged engine. He's stressed. He's going to have to keep on evading unless he wants to risk just exploding in a single round. Um, so where do you go? What do you do? He's got a few options. He can turn this way and go straight into the Wookiee, but maybe get away. He can turn up this way and get away up there. He can go forwards. He can zoom 5 forwards or do a 5k turn or a 4k turn. So there's a lot of possibilities here, and obviously when you combine that with where Obi is going, his ships have to get out of the way. So Jake is right in the perfect position to block things, and to throw a spanner in the works. So I have to now make a big gamble. I'm going to do the hard one into this position. I then need to decide whether I'm going to block up over here because I could hard one barrel roll and boost in and be there and stop the hard one that way and threaten him if he goes down this way. I could barrel roll down this way, which risks the asteroid, and that's a problem. It also risks Rick because Rick is coming around the corner. But if he does do the 5 forwards or the 5k, I will block him onto the asteroid, which is a massive deal. And it might also block a sloop from Obi-Wan. It'll probably block where the torrent is going, but it may get Jake killed. So I have to make that decision. Now in this situation, Wolf comes around the corner, nice and easy. Deciding whether or not to target lock, I decide in the end to focus because I'm not sure who I'm going to be shooting. There are 3 good options, maybe 4 good options that I can kill. So I take the focus token to make sure that I'm a threat to all of them. If you know what you're going to be shooting, then the target lock is fine, but in this case, focus token was good. So Jake does the hard one, slots in very nicely into the hole. At which point, I think a very long time about the barrel roll. You can see here, the 5 is going to clear. It's close. We don't know whether or not, because my thinking here is that Obi can hard turn in. And if Obi hard turns in, I block Obi, I get a shot on Obi with Wolf Warrior, I get a shot on Obi with a Hawk that's just about to do a hard turn. And I'm not risking, because it looked like the 3 hard would fit here from Rick. If the 3 hard fits, Jake barrel rolls this way, puts himself in a bullseye, and dies, because he could just explode. So I know that Phil was absolutely shouting at me to do the barrel roll and didn't understand why I didn't do it. The reason I didn't do it is because the risk reward it's another coin flip, and if I lose the coin flip, then I lose a ship. And at this point, if I lose another ship, I'm gone. I've just lost the game. XY just runs away into the corners, and I never see him again because it's like 80 to 25, and I don't have the time to kill him. So my view here was right. I can keep Jake safe and block one of the coin flips. So I'm going to do that. And if he gets away, then that's fine. I can just chase him down again. Like his ships are not threatening mine if he decides to bug out this way. I'm glad that I'm predicting Nobby. Like I'm literally talking about what he's saying as he's typing. So that's good news. Right. So Plo did do the 5, and I was a little bit sad. I'm going to be even sadder when you see where the rest of the moves go, because literally the hard one here would have blocked all 3 of his ships in one go. But again, I've outlined the reasons why I didn't do it, and it seemed like a good idea. Thank you, Alifergo, for the follow. We like those. We take those. So yeah, I was sad about not doing the barrel roll. I was reasonably sure that the barrel roll here would have blocked Plo. He's just thinking about what to do, so how best to get Plo out of the way. He does decide to barrel roll in the end, and it just fits. Look at that, it's beautiful. So he barrel rolls into there, boosts out of range, which is all nice. Let's just skip forward a little bit. So he boosts out of range. Then Rick, we get the hard 3 around the corner, does the zoom. Was a little surprised at that one, but I think he didn't want to get nailed by the Wookiee. XY understands about the fact that he needs to kill the Wookiee to win. As opposed to letting the Wookiee win, he needs to kill him. So getting Rick behind the Wookiee is probably the best way of doing that. And he takes the token because you need the target lock. Personally, I think I would have done the boost, but choices. It gives him options. Okay, and then Obi. Obi goes down this way. Again, the barrel roll would have been perfect. It's just like, oh god, would have blocked all 3 of his ships. Thank you, I appreciate that. So yeah, in terms of Obi, Obi just goes, I don't want to be here, and I think this is where XY made a mistake in the order that he did his moves, because if Obi had boosted first and then barrel rolled over this way, then he still would have been out of range of the Wookiee, and even if he takes a shot from the Wookiee, that is acceptable, instead of putting himself in this position where he did the barrel and then the boost. Because you are so close to this debris cloud. If you boost and then barrel roll, you're over here, and again, you have so many options. Look at where he ends up putting himself. He goes there and then he barrel rolls forwards, and he just stays there. He can't really boost in. Because he's worried about the Wookiee. I think he should have boosted, because if you boost down here, then you make me guess, like, are you going to come all the way down here? Are you going to turn away into the corner and just run away? I don't know. Whereas if you're here, I know exactly where you're going. So, you know, hey, Candy Clarinetist. See, we got all the streamers on today. This is good. Hello, people. So, yeah, I think that was a big mistake from XY. It doesn't seem like one, but I think that was the start of Obi getting caught. Because if XY just doesn't take any more damage this game, he wins. You've got to think about your win conditions. In this situation, the win condition is kill the Wookiee and don't take damage. If you can get Jan, fine, but I'm keeping Jan fairly safe. She's always behind things. That was why the 4 forwards and boost was so important. So Jan has a shot at Obi. Morning. Good to see you. And yeah, absolutely. As you said, Tim, hindsight is 2020. Your logic is fine. So I decide not to spend this focus. I'm shooting the torrent. The torrent has an evade. I want to keep my focus because again, with Jan, she is going to be going into trouble. I think that was a mistake. I probably should have spent that focus, but it's fine. Hindsight 2020 and everything else. But it's never a bad decision. I know that Wolf is going to have the 5 dice shot. I considered taking Rick, but the reason. Oh, sorry. Okay. Now this is an important point. Don't change your mind when you do things. The reason that I was shooting the torrent is because I was I was thinking, right, 3 versus 2. If I get 3 damage, I can guarantee a shot on the turret. I can guarantee damage. I was going to shoot Rick with Wolf Warrow because I thought, right, 5 dice versus Rick, this is fine. I then remembered when it came for Rick to shoot that Rick had the R2 astromech and there was no point shooting him. So what I should have done, knowing that I was going to fire 2 shots into one ship, was spent the mod from Jan to spend the focus on the turret. That was a sensible decision. Or the evade or whatever he had. I think he had the evade. But yeah, I should have spent the token on the torrent with Jan's shot and then shot him with the Wookiee. As it was, I was thinking, right, well, I'm going to split fire here. So if I'm not going to do good damage, I'm going to save the token because Jan likes having multiple focus tokens. So that was the reason that I didn't spend. At which point, I changed my mind. So I should have remembered R2 in the first place, and then I would have spent the token, and everything would have been fine. So there we go, thought processes. I am actually going to do a Top Gun series on token spending and like when you should spend tokens and everything else. I think it's very important. It's information that you can control and decisions that you can control very much affect the game. So Torrent says ow, but not as ow as it could have been. Still gets 2 out of hand plus the evade, and he survives on 2 health. So dodgy Torrent, but again 43 points now. I'm clawing it back. We are clawing it back, and the Jedi had no good shots this turn. So there we go. Thank you for Candy Clarinettist and Gold Minty for the follows as well. And there we go. Hey, I'll take the quality screen comments. So now we're in a fun situation. Jake isn't stressed. He's in a good place. Jan is stressed, but really doesn't mind because she's got the 1 bank for next turn. And Wolf Warrow has decisions. Wolf Warrow has many, many decisions. His decisions involve not getting shot in the butt by Rick because he doesn't like that at all. It also involves catching this annoying thing over here because now XY made a mistake. He placed Obi in a position that meant that he's not going to be able to easily escape. So I need to capitalize on that position and get away from the Naboo Starfighter here. So my decision here is I'm going to do a 2 bank. I was thinking of a 3, but I wasn't quite sure if the 3 was going to clip the asteroid. Looking at it from a top-down perspective, it shouldn't. This is why I prefer the top-down. But again, TTS, not quite sure. I played for the safe and made sure that the 2 bank was going to fit. Jan comes in here and threatens whatever's going to be around this position. She can threaten Obi, she can threaten whatever she likes. If you have the torrent there, then you can shoot that. If not, you can shoot something else. Jake, well, Jake doesn't have really any good options. I considered turning him up this way and coming up through here, but then he's much more useful to be giving tokens to Wolf. So Jake is just going to 2 forwards, boost in to give the token to Wolf, and he's also a threat to keep Rick away from the rear. So that's quite useful. So let's get forward through the planning, and let's see at what point does stuff start moving. There we go. There goes the Wookiee. So we do the 2 bank. We know we're getting a focus token, so we might as well take a target lock. So I take a target lock and I take it onto Obi. Again, the Naboo is the distraction. Do not shoot the Naboo. Don't do it. It'll lose you games. There goes Jake. Jake goes 2 forwards. Jake gives people a focus token. Everyone is happy. Takes 1 for himself as well because wasn't quite sure where Rick was going and didn't want to risk it. Also, it's nice to have mods, so if Rick came around the corner, then hey, I mean, Jan can boost Jake as well in this situation. So surprise 3 dice gun is always fun. I really like Jan and Jake together. I didn't end up using Jan on Jake at any point this game, but I like it. Also, shout out to the Singapore X-Wing logo. That thing is really nice. It's a really good logo. Okay, so Plo just disappears, goes, nope, we're not playing this game, and does not want to get shot. Jan took a target lock on the torrent because Obi was probably not going to be around, and with only 2 health left, seems like a good decision. So, hello, Odinson. How's it going? So yeah, in terms of this, What's going to happen? Obi's the big one. Where is Obi going? Where is Obi going? Come on. So Obi goes over the rock. XY decides to take the sensible way out and not turn towards the Wookiee. But again, he's forced himself into a corner. It's left a... He probably should clear that strain at some point, and it's left him with not many good options. Kyber's going okay. I'm playing my 4th round later tonight, so we'll see how Ray likes eating Malorus. That'll be fun. I'm playing against, what is it? Sinar, 4 FOs, and Malorus in the shuttle, so should be a good game, actually. Right. What we got? There we go. So he decides to boost. Obviously, Jedi can boost using their ability after they go through a debris cloud, which is why another reason why I brought the rocks, because he can't do that. Yeah, that's sorry about that. I mean, it's pretty unfortunate if your 185 FO aces get matched into a 182 Rapo. That's the FO aces are not going to have a nice time. And also, oh my god, the green dice on his end were awful. So yeah, in terms of Kyber, I mean, I'm doing well at the moment with 3-0. Normally I screw up one of my first games, so that's quite nice. So yeah, if I can manage to win 2, guarantee it. I don't really want to go on MOV at the moment. I had a total of 66 MOV from my first 2 games. Beat 5 SFs by a single point. Oh my god. Right, so that's the boring stuff out of the way. Jan has a go. So we've got Torrent versus Hawk. I've got the target lock focus this time. Vindication for saving the focus from last round. And Splat. Finally, XY gets nerve aids, makes up for last round, and that's a dead Torrent. Yeah, it was a fun game. It was really nice chatting to him. I now have a French Lahouz. I know. It was a really close game. It was a really close game. Yeah. See, all you lovely people, you're all being nice to me, and I kick you around in tournament games. I'm sorry. I don't mean it. I mean it a little bit. All right. So now this is probably my favorite turn of the game. So we've killed the torrent. Technically we're winning, but we're not winning. And it's important to note why. It's very important to note why I am not winning, because these are Jedi, and Jedi are very, very... Oh god, yeah. Jedi are very, very good at half pointing things. Jake is only 1 point away from half. It only takes a few damage into Wolf or into Jan for the Jedi to half point me, and they can do that without taking any damage back. So officially, even though I'm up on points, I am not flying a list that can run away into the corners and win on time. I have 24 minutes to go, easily enough for Rick, who is starting to make a real effort at getting around the back of Smiling Assassin, Phil. There we go. But yeah, Rick is making a really good effort to get around the back of my list here. And that's a serious problem. As soon as he gets behind Wolf, I am gone. So what I could do is I could turn Wolf into the corner, but then that lets Obi into the back. XY has managed to get himself back into a position where he has 3 threats. He has Rick here, Obi here, and Plo here. Now, you can do 2 things to this if you are if you're the beatdown, if you are the jouster. You can do 2 things about this. You can focus absolutely everything on one ship and try and kill it, or you can split yourself up and try and deal with... Normally in like a swarm it's 2 on 1. Say for example your opponent has 3 aces, you split 2 ships into each ace and try and block them and kill them. There is only certain situations in the game where that is an option, and the situations are normally those where the ace is more scared or is able to be blocked by those small groups that you split off to. So in this situation, Jan is able to scare off Plo. She can do a 1 bank, she can do a 2 bank, and Plo does not want to joust. He's only got 2 health, so she can come in here, take a focus, and threaten killing him. and then Plo can't get too aggressive and actually has to go away up this way. In this situation, Wolf Warrow could turn around there, but then he gets his butt on him by Obi, and Obi can kill him. And realistically, Obi is what I need to kill. He is taking damage. Rick hasn't taken any damage and can regen, so it's a lot easier to hurt Obi, and I've got target lock on Obi as well. So Wolf wants to go over here. Now, normally, what you would expect is Wolf to go over there and Jake to hard 2 and focus him. However, there we go, get dice out of the way. Wolf already has his token. He's already got his target lock. So he doesn't need focus support to take the target lock. He's his own man at this point. He's chasing down his target. So Jake can go and slow down Rick. And this was the game-winning turn. This was the game-winning turn. Because if Rick completes a 3 hard and a boost, he has enough time to get damage into Wolf Warrow and slow him down. However, because Jake is here, and I managed to guess correctly that XY had done the hard, I think it was the hard 3 turn he did. But yeah, I block him here. Because I managed to block him, I won the game. If I hadn't blocked him, sorry, is it? Yeah, I know the voice is quiet. I don't know why it is. For some reason, I think the input is a bit balked into the back of my computer. But if I don't block Rick here, and if Rick gets past Jake, because of the decision I've made, I will probably lose because he will kill the Wookiee, and then I won't be able to chase down the Jedi. So if you're going to commit to splitting up, you have to do it correctly. You have to pick your moments, pick your decisions. So I had to make sure I blocked the 2 and the 3. So boosting in here blocks the 2 and the 3. Hey, no worries. Ask questions. Chat me all the questions. There we go. There's the one back from Jan. Clears the stress. Takes the focus. Is still in range of the Wookiee. Oh boy. Yep, ASMR stream. So there we go. There's Plo. Plo doesn't really want to do much about that. He just sits at long range and takes the focus. And that is a relatively sad Obi-Wan. He's done the hard 1. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I need to fix it. Well, see, this is the thing because it's coming up at decent levels on my mic, but apparently that's not enough. So, well, I will eventually get around and check out the soundboard and check out the sound levels. Anywho, Obi is in trouble. It is not my Kyber list. My Kyber list is Rey and Poe. Rick dialed in a hard 3. So yeah, this is the other list. This is the other list that I'm enjoying flying at the moment because I love Jake. I've been flying Jake and Wedge things for a little while, and I'm very tempted to try. I think you can fit Jake, Wedge, Wolf Warrow. You can't fit Jan, annoyingly, or that you might be able to fit Jan. I need to have a look at it. Yeah, so he did the 3 hard. But I made sure that it caught the 3, the talon roll, and the 2. I needed to make. That's why I thought so long about that boost. I need to make sure of that. Yeah, Obi boosted into the corner here, which was a big mistake. So we catch. We hit Plo. Plo doesn't take any damage, which is fine. Like I wasn't sure. Obi isn't stressed. He is strained because he still hasn't cleared the strain. That will be important in a second. So Plo manages to do a damage to Jan, which I was a little bit sad about. I was a little bit frustrated about that, but it's fine. Everything's okay. I'm not mad. I was quite grumpy. I managed to not be grumpy at XY, but I was just like, come on. Hawk shouldn't be taking damage there. Average dice. But anyway, yeah, so Obi has managed to dodge Wolf this turn. He has managed to dodge Wolf this turn, which is good, but he's put himself in a terrible position. Now, I need to make sure I don't make a mistake here. Now, there's a few decisions that people on stream, that the commentators on the stream are questioning, so this is a good opportunity to have a look at those. Well, there we go. Sorted. Can you fit the concussion bombs in? I don't think you can fit the concussion bombs in, which is sad, but that's okay. I'd put engine on the Hawk. So engine Hawk, Wedge. No, sorry, R4 Astromech on Wedge, so that he can be focus boosted by Jake. That's a list I need to try. Oh God, I need to try that list because he's still got the angry Wookie, and he'll just naturally get down to his angry dice after someone shoots him. Anyway, so Jan. Jan is in a bit of a pickle because she wants to boost Wolf Warrow, but at the same time she can't give her side to Plo, and she is protecting the Wookiee from Plo. Jake is doing the same thing, and this is the reason that I split up my ships, because at this point I can manage these individual ships with mine. I can start to block them, I can start to threaten them. Using my firing arcs as areas that they're not allowed to go, you can control where your opponent's ships go. So that's a really important lesson to learn. If you are the person that is flying against aces, use your firing arcs to point them into places that you want them to be. That might mean you can often not stop them from shooting your ships, but you can cause them to have less effect. For example, Rick might only get a 2-die shot off because he's forced to go slow. These kind of things. Yeah, Jake, Ark, Nora, Jan, and Blount. It's really like these rebel salads, as I like to call them. They're not a swarm. They're not an ace list. They're a salad because it's kind of halfway, and they're not really beef. So it's like it's rebel light. It's a salad. Anyway, I need to make sure that I don't make a mistake here, because if I make a mistake, Obi can get out the corner. If he guesses correctly, I don't know if the bank fits here. The bank might fit, in which case, if I turn up this way, then the bank, he boosts past me. If I go too fast, he also boosts past me. And if I don't get Plo with Jan, then Plo is going to come and do some serious pain. So in terms of limiting things, what I wanted to do is I wanted to stop Plo from coming in. So I didn't mind if he went hard turn, because the Wookiee is going to be protected by the gas cloud. So if Plo hard turns, then I go forwards and I block him. What you need to do here, the 2 forwards will block the 3 bank. The 2 forwards from Jan blocks the 3 bank, which is really important, because the 3 bank and the 2 bank are the most common moves. If Plo does a 1 bank, well, he can't stay in front of the Hawk, so he's got to boost into the side arc. And again, we all know what happened last time. The Hawk actually did a damage to him. So doing a 2 forwards, target locking Plo is a really good decision here. Jake, on the other hand, Jake is actually bait in this position. And I just want to pause and have a look at the points. Let's bring this up. Let's bring this up. Let's go to my points. So because this is an important thing to keep in your head whenever you're playing a game. So we need here we go. So here is my list. Here is my list. I have lost all of Miranda. Now I am going ahead and assuming that I'm going to go and kill Obi-Wan. So right now let's just make the let's just make the Jedi list as well, because I think this is something that's really important to keep in your head while you're playing, because you need to always have an idea of points values. And I appreciate that some of you might be a bit bored by this, but time to learn things. So config CLT, he's got sense. Then we had Plo. Plo had CLT as well, and that was it. And then we had Rick. Rick has the R4 and Predator, sorry, the R2 and Predator. So Predator is 2 points, and the R for Astromech, R2 Astromech for regen. And then finally, we had our lovely little friend in the torrent. We had Oddball. So we have Oddball with the marksmanship and proton rockets, who is amazing, and I need to start flying more. So points. Let's have a look at points. What's been destroyed so far? Oddball. Oddball is dead. Plo is on half. I am officially winning because 61 to 50. What's going to happen over the next couple of turns? Well, I'm going to kill Obi-Wan. That's acceptable. That is absolutely fine. I'm going to kill Obi-Wan. Otherwise, I'm going to lose the game because he's going to get half on the Wookiee. So if I kill Obi-Wan, or if I at least do a single damage to Obi-Wan, I go to 90. Look at what happens if Jake dies. I haven't lost the game. If I just halve Obi-Wan, I've got to 90 points from 61. Jake can die, and I haven't lost the game. So this was my thinking here. I need to stop Rick from getting onto the Wookiee, because I'm going to do at least 1 damage to Obi. If I do 1 damage to Obi, boop, and I take half on the Wookiee, sorry, there we go, then I'm winning. Wonderful. This is acceptable. If I kill Obi, sorry, wrong ship. If I kill Obi, we go to 119 again. I can lose Jake, and it doesn't matter. If I take half of the Wookiee and I lose Jake, it just doesn't matter. So when you're having a look at your points, think about what you're looking to kill. Think about how many points of difference that's going to make. Because if I can let Jake die and not lose half on the Wookiee because I don't have Rick behind him, then that's entirely acceptable. So what I'm just about to do, let's get rid of these. What I'm just about to do is I'm just about to put Jake in a stupid position. See you, fish. Thank you very much. And if you want to, you can have a look at this as it is uploaded to YouTube later. It's being uploaded to YouTube now. So going back into this, I thought it was very important to cover that. So first of all, I make a mistake. The Wookiee goes too fast. I was worried about Rick. I was still worried about Rick. So I did a 3 forwards to make sure that Rick only got 2 dice. That was the reason. Unfortunately, if Obi does a hard 2, there is a possibility that he can boost and barrel roll and get out of my arc. We'll have a look at that later. But I wanted to shut down his options. I didn't want him to be able to boost around the corner here. Now Jake does the hard 2. And then normally the sensible decision would have been to either just boost or just barrel roll. Because just boosting and just barrel rolling gets him, tucks him in behind Rick, or just target lock in this position. Tucks him in behind Rick. But I don't want Rick to go for the Wookiee. I don't want Rick to boost. I want Rick to go, oh, there's an A-Wing there that is 1 point away from half health. I can shoot him. So, Andreas, what I should have done is I probably should have done the 1 forwards and focused. Maybe the 2. The 2 would have been okay. I think the 2 was probably the best decision. If you're banking, so if you do a bank maneuver, then you risk Obi-Wan being able to get past you on this side. If you do a turn, same thing. So I think, hey Frenchie, I think the correct decision was the 2 forwards. I went very slightly too fast, and thankfully XY missed it. I would have gone all in for the move in a second that I'm gonna talk you through. So this was why. Sorry, I should have said General Kenobi. I apologize. Anyway, so there's the 2 forwards. Yeah, 1 forward's good, but I wanted to be a bit closer. If he had, because he's only on 3 health, if I can get a close range shot, then I can kill him, which was my thinking. So at least the 2 forwards would have got me a range 2 shot, which was helpful. Because he could have done the hard one and barreled over here. Anyway, we got the block. 2 forwards got the block, and let's just go back to this. So Rick does the 3 hard, and after he does the 3 hard, he doesn't boost in after Wolf, which would have given him a... Look at his bullseye. If he'd have done the boost, he probably would have got a bullseye shot onto the Wookiee, which was the correct decision. That was how you win the game. You kill the Wookiee. However, because there is a distraction there in the form of Jake, he goes, oh, I can get points. I can kill Jake, and I can get points. So this is the reason why I put Jake there, because I wanted him to be able to slow down Rick. And it worked. I was lucky. So this is the move that I wasn't sure. So he did the hard 2. I think if you do a curve boost up to here and a barrel roll this way, you dodge. You get into this hole. So you curve boost towards the asteroid, and then you barrel roll that way, and you dodge the Wookiee, which you wouldn't have been able to do if I'd done 2 forwards. However, XY missed it. I was lucky. At this point, I was just like, I've thrown the game. I've lost. I've just lost the game because I'm an utter moron. As soon as I moved the 3 forwards, I was just like, it's too far. It's gone too far. But I got lucky. I got lucky because I don't know whether it would have fit. It was one of those that would have been ridiculously close because it's whether or not the rear of the base gets out of that side firing arc. As it is, XY just goes, I'm going to try and boost and then barrel roll this way. And yeah, I think he stressed himself out. I think he wasn't thinking clearly on that one. We all make mistakes under pressure, and I think that was the situation there. I made the mistake with the 3 forwards. He made the mistake with the boost. It works out in the end. Realistically, what should have happened is that neither of us should have effed up. But same situation. We end up with Obi-Wan jousting the Wookiee, which is what I was expecting, because if you can't get out, you may as well do damage. So there we go. Let's see what we get. We now this was a colossal mistake. Oh, the damage was from the concussion at the start. The damage was from the concussion at the start. What you'll notice is there is a strain on the Wookiee. This strain here. I completely forgot that there was the strain there. So I was thinking, right, I'm going to burn his force. I'm going to burn his tokens with Jan. And forgot about the fact that if I hadn't shot him, then Wolf would have had a 6 or whatever it was on 2 because he still had the strain. So XY made a mistake. I made a mistake. I think this was like 1:38 in the morning at this point, so it was a bit late. Sorry, yeah, Jedi. So Jan rolls the dice, decides, oh no, I'm not gonna spend it, and then realizes that she completely messed up. Yeah, that's a stupid. That was such a stupid. So he then gets his shots. Yeah, Wolfie is damaged without losing shields. Yeah, from the concussion bomb at the start. That was why. Okay, so he spends the focus. He might as well. He gets the focus back with the force, and Wolf takes 3. So half points now. Half points. We love you, Nobby. We love you. We do. I really appreciate you letting me come on. This was a phenomenal game. It depends. There's only certain games I spend the time to go back over, and this was a really good one. So at which point we get the range 1. Jake says, "Thank you very much. That was fine." And the Wookiee gets grumpy. The Wookiee gets very, very grumpy and says, "I'm gonna punch you in the face." Now, it doesn't get the jam boost, so only gets 5 dice, but make it up for his previous inadequacies. XY can dodge this because I'm an idiot. If he'd have rolled 3 symbols, he would have dodged it and survived. However, I got out of trouble. The mistake didn't kick me in the teeth. The mistake being I shot him with Jan and then removed the strain token. I was just tired and I missed because it was following him around for 2 turns. I was so used to flying Poe at this point, is I was just like, oh, that's a stress token, it's fine. Just like, oh dear, oh dear. So points wise, it does unless you take a strain token, which I did, because you can take a strain where everything's miles out of the way and then stir blue and clear it. It's great. It's a really cheeky trick. It basically means you have a 4 dice primary 7 health Wookiee. It's really nice. Right. So we're in a weird situation now where 79 to 119, 10 minutes left. I need to keep things alive. No, concussion bombs does, it deals a card underneath your shields. It then deals you an exposed damage card underneath the shields if you don't take a strain. It's sneaky. It's a very sneaky card. It's very, very, very good for 3 points or 4 points and whatever it is. So the not the concussion missile, the concussion bombs, which I had on Miranda, because you can drop the bomb and then reload it in the first turn. So the real question is, how do I keep these ships alive? And should I be trying to? With 4 health left on the Wookiee, there was a very real possibility that I was going to get initiative killed. So in this situation, I need to do a few things. I need to make sure that the Wookiee stays alive. He's only really got one way to go, which is to the left. And I need to make sure that I can maximize damage into Plo if I can as well. Yes, A-Wings, absolutely. No worries. This is why I run this thing. This is why we ask questions, bringing you some of the nonsense and common lists. Jedi are very common with Rick. The oddball is a really nice twist from XY. And obviously, you are going to see this rebel list. Like, trust me, in some form, you are going to see it. It's very good. It needs to be flown well, but it's very good. So in this situation, I need to do two things. I need to stop this thing and this thing attacking this thing. Seems simple. Probably not. Now, this is where the poker side of things comes in. XY had done the 3 forwards on 2 separate occasions with Rick. He had already shown that he wanted to do the minimum speed required to get his evade and his bonus dice and allow him to adjust his moves using the boost and the barrel rolls. That's his flying style. I've picked that up over the course of this game. Because of that, and because of the fact that I was reading my opponent, I am now going to gamble on that 3 forwards and not a 5. A lot of people would do a 5 forwards with Rick and just zoom at the Wookiee. But I'm going to try and guess that XY is going to stick with his preferences and stick with the fact that he's going to go with the 3 forwards on Rick and then either focus or boost. So, Jan is obvious. Jan does the 2 hard. Because like it's the only move here. You've got to threaten. Like as you say, Dan, you've got to get the block and Plo, or you've got to threaten him with the side arc or the front arc. The Wookiee, absolutely, turns to the left and the right. And Jake is going to do a 2 forwards. And then he's going to barrel roll backwards to the left. So the reason for this is I was expecting a 3 forwards. I'm expecting the 3 forwards. You're expecting XY to do the same thing that he's done previously in the game. And because of that, this move is good. Also, if he goes 5 forwards, Jake gets to shoot him in the butt. So, seems like a good idea. So, yeah, Wolf goes over there, turns the corner. Did I do the 3? No, I think I did the 2. But regardless, he turns left, he takes a focus. I considered taking the reinforce, but I think at this point I want to go offensive. As long as I can avoid getting initiative killed, because I'm going to get boosted up by Jan. If I can get a decent shot into Plo, then that seems like a really good decision. So Jan goes here, stops the hard turn. If you get the bank in, then Plo's taking shots from both Jan and Wolf is in a really bad position. The reinforce, I was considering it, but because of the fact that one of the ships is coming from the front and one of the ships is coming from the back, I'd rather go offensive. Because with 4 health left, it's unlikely that I'm going to get initiative killed based on the board position. If Plo decides to go and try and initiative kill the Wookiee, then Jan kills Plo. That's the way that works, because then he's in the front arc. So I'd got the Wookiee into the right corner. That again, if this was in isolation and the Wookiee was on his own, the reinforce is the correct decision. However, because of the fact that Jan is here, you're allowed to take the focus because Plo isn't allowed to be here. So we got the bump. Plo comes in here, and again, I think this is XY. XY tilted himself a little bit from last turn, because that was a good move. That was a good move, and he's thinking, right, what do I need to do to win? Well, if I can kill Jake, I can maybe do some more damage and win the game. Jan is only 2 points away from half health, but in terms of points, you don't win the game by killing Jake here, and you just put Plo in danger. So I think what I would have done is I think I probably would have boosted straight to here and barrel rolled over there. And this is where you, like, if you're XY, you have to speed up the game. You've got to start playing really, really fast. Oh, has it stopped on YouTube? Why did it stop on YouTube? It shouldn't have done. Try refreshing the page. Oh, that's weird. but yeah, so in this situation, what you have to do is you have to, I think, get out and come back in, but keep on playing the game fast. Instead, XY decides to go balls deep. I mean, to be fair, it's not a terrible decision if you just need to kill Jake, which you do. Um, so he gets out the Wookiee arc and he lines up the shot on Jake, which is in a good position. Um, Still gets pinged by Jan though, so Jan gets 2 dice, has a go at long range, and because of the situation, I decide I'm going to spend my luck here. And I had called it before XY rolled his dice, so XY has to re-roll because it's outside the box, and he only gets a single evade, and he takes a crit, and the crit's blinded pilot, which doesn't actually affect things too much. Yeah, the reason I was shooting him here with the target lock is because having only a single force left for modifications and the focus, if I can spend one of those, then it's likely that either he spends one on attack and therefore Jake gets an easy shot, or Jake gets off a bit lighter because he spent both on defense. So yeah, I decided to take that decision. So we have a bit of a discussion here about whether or not he can add the eyeball. I think you're allowed to add it, but not spend. It wouldn't have mattered because it can. Yeah, he rolled an eyeball anyway. Never really came to a conclusion on that one. So if anyone wants to enlighten me in the chat on how blinded pilot and CLT works, please do. So gets the crit in. Jake takes a shield, goes down to half points. I am now in slightly more dangerous range because with Jake going to half points, killing the Wookiee can win XY the game. So there we go. 96 to 119. Jake shoots back. And we get 2 hits, followed by 2 evades, which is entirely fair because Jan shouldn't have done that damage in the first place. Jake probably should have done 1. Yeah, exactly. So that's what we thought, that adding the result couldn't happen. So glad you guys confirmed that, and Nobby is the hero because he was correct. Always pass it over to the TO. All right. So we have an interesting situation. Plo is on 1 health and not in the best situation. But if he keeps Plo alive, and why has XY got all those points? Oh, he was checking what would happen if he killed Jake. He accidentally killed Jake here. So I have 96. XY has 119. Because of that, if you do 2 damage to Jan, or if you do 4 damage to the Wookiee, then XY wins the game. It's still close. This is still not 1 game. And this is the reason why I needed to keep the pressure on. This is the reason why I couldn't just assume that I'd won the game as soon as I got 61 points. Because as you can see, that damage has come through and I am now in danger. So moving on to planning for this turn, Jake, again, is in the situation where he can block things. So looking at the points, if I lose the other half of Jake, I don't lose the game. So I genuinely don't care. Like, if I lose half on either of my other ships, I lose. But if I lose half on Jake, I don't. So I'm going to put Jake in as much danger as possible this turn. I want to get him in the way and stop XY from shooting things. Wookiee could have run away, but I thought it was better to turn around and face things. I'm going to take the, because I know I'm putting Jake in danger, I'm going to take the reinforce and I'm going to give him the focus with Jake. So Jake comes in. I believe I do the boost here because I want Jake to be a distraction. Oh yeah, so we barrel roll to focus ourselves. We do the boost over there just to get out the way of options for next turn. And then the Falcon comes in and is just like, right, my job is to stay alive. I just want to survive here, so he stays behind the rock. We get the target lock again because why not? There's no sense in taking a 3rd focus. Cool. So Plo does the K turn. I was expecting the sloop, not the K, but that's fine. Same situation. Keeps his bullseye lineup on. And Rick comes in with the 5. I did consider blocking the 5, but yeah, it's. Oh, did he do the 3 again? I think he might have done the 3 again. Yeah. Regardless. No, he did do the 5. In this situation, Jake is bait, and it's just like, please shoot the Jake. I'm just trying to put Jake in danger. I do mean the Hawk. So yeah, I mean we've got a nothing shot into Rick with a 2 dice cannon. He's got the gas cloud to help him. It's not going to do anything. The important one is the Wookiee. So Jan says, I'll keep the focus. Thank you very much. No sense in wasting tokens. And then Rick has a go. Should have shot the Wookiee here, but decides to take the bullseye shot on Jake. Again, distraction is working. I don't know. Maybe I triggered him. I don't know. Feel free, XY, to come back to this. Maybe XY decided that he wants to he wants to really kill the A-wing. But he gets it. Spends the focus. There we go. Jake rolls 3. Takes a crit. The crit is not a double damage. It is. I can't remember what it is. Stunned pilot. Ah, yeah, blank crit, because Jake never flies over rocks. So, and at this point, technically the game is over, but I'd wasted a load of time at the start and during the game, so we decided to play another turn because it seemed like another 3 or 4 minutes was appropriate. So even though we are still rolling dice, the game will go for one more turn. So the Wookiee gets grumpy, gets 5 dice, and we have a focus shot into Rick, which does a grand total of absolutely nothing, because Rick says, we don't care about those. Those are rookie numbers. Bring me some better dice. All right, so one more turn. The win conditions are still exactly the same. No damage done. Oh, well, 1 to Jake, but Jake doesn't matter. So the Wookiee has to stay alive. Jan has to stop going below half points, or I need to do damage. And in this situation, my thinking is, right, Rick only has Talon rolls. This is the most important thing this turn, is that if Rick had a 4K, he could just do a 4K. But because he only has Talon rolls, if I get here, he cannot hurt me. Because if he Talon rolls onto the debris cloud, I get the debris cloud bonus. So if I get the Wookiee to this position, then he cannot hurt me. So that's what I decide to do. I'm going to 3 bank straight through the asteroid because I need to keep the Wookiee alive. And with 4 health, the best way to keep the Wookiee alive is to only get it shot by one thing. And the best way to only get it shot by one thing is to point it straight at Plo, who still has a weapons failure. He's a long way away. He's still got a weapons failure. And then I need to stop Jan from getting shot. So again, he's only got Talon rolls. So I need to be right here with Jan. Doesn't have a hard 3. The hard 2 puts her on the asteroid. But once I move out the way, 1 bank and a 1 bank with the engine upgrade puts me in the perfect position. I can just sit here, sit pretty, not take any damage, and it doesn't matter which one Plo shoots, because I now have 2 guns on target onto Plo. And he's only got 1 health, so as soon as he comes in, I'm going to vaporize him with the other one. Jake, his only job this game is to give the Wookiee a focus. That's all he does this turn. So he does a 2 bank, he does a boost, gives the Wookiee a focus before it goes over the asteroid, and we lay the trap for Plo. That's the plan. For XY here, honestly, I think XY did the correct moves. He did do the correct moves. You're going to see them in a second. So let's go through. Let's skip on a bit and let's go to shit's moving, because we were allowed time, so we thought about this for a long time, because it's the last turn of the game. You might as well. You don't want to get it wrong. Both players can absolutely still win in this position. Obviously, yeah, you've got to make some gambles. So That I did. So we take the evade and we boost. No sense to lose Jake if you don't have to, even though it doesn't lose you the game. The Wookiee goes, thank you very much for that focus token. I shall use it aggressively, and zooms his way straight over the rock. I forget that I actually have to roll for the cloud as well, and as I roll a crit out of hand, we take nothing from the cloud. So there we go. We do the zoom. Says hi to Plo with his focus token, and then Jan. We get the one bank. There we go. And we stop Rick from doing anything. Now, if Rick had done the 3 Talon roll, that was probably his best move. I was gambling on the fact that it would be still shooting through the debris cloud, so I would have had some decent defense. As it was, I like the 1 bank. I think the 1 bank was sensible. It had your biggest options on murdering Jan, which I think was the correct decision, because I think he thought maybe I was going to go forwards with Jan. And Plo comes in 3 forwards. Again, it's his only move. He's got to come in. And as he has the blinded, he's just going to try and get into range 1 and hope that he has arc on the Wookiee. Yeah, I think his only hope here is to get a crit into the Wookiee and kill the Wookiee before it fires, and then survive the shot from Jan. That's the way that you win the game, is by killing the Wookiee before it fires, initiative kill it, and then don't take any damage back. So absolutely the correct call. He goes for Hail Mary. If you get 2 crits, 3 crits out of hands, you can kill the Wookiee. But before we do that, we do get a 4 dice into Plo from Jan. So it's got the 4. We have the target lock from a couple of turns ago. Rerolls into the blank, but we'll spend the focus, and Jan does the business. Plo doesn't get 3 symbols. He does get a blank. We kill Plo and we win the game, guaranteed. And there were people that were a bit grumpy about me not taking the 4 dice, the 6 dice shot into Rick. But we also see what Plo does. So Plo has a go. He does 1 or 2 damage. Just the 1. Does 1 more damage to the Wookiee. Rick has a nothing shot into Jake. And that's the game. So from a pretty god-awful starting position, it was not a good position. We managed to pull back the game, but I think there was a lot of really useful high-end learning points. I'm going to say that both of us flew that really, really well. There was a couple of mistakes based on it being early in the morning for XY and quite late for me. But even so, there's always mistakes in the next wing game. It's very difficult to play perfectly. And yeah, I like just a lot of respect to XY there. He flew his ships really, really well. He absolutely nuked Miranda in that first engagement. And honestly, I was left feeling like I was going to have another evidence of me playing very poorly on stream. So glad it turned around. If you are wondering, wait for it. Here is the shot from a 6 dice Wookiee. Oh, wait. Here is the shot from the 6 dice Wookiee onto, where is it? Is it not? Oh, that's disappointing. Nobby. I blame Nobby. Anyway, it's fine. The Wookiee got like 2 hits. It didn't do anything. I shot every single time that I shot at Rick, I didn't do any damage. So yeah, hopefully you guys found that useful. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to chuck them my way, just while we're having a chat. But yeah, so I really enjoyed that game. It was a really, really fun game. As I said, shout out to XY for being an awesome human being, because there we go. Hey, no problem, Marlon. Jin Urso on Jan would be a good option. I agree. I actually think that Jin Urso on Jan is a really good decision. I like it. I'm not sure if it's better than Engine. The way that I fly, I quite like having Engine on Jan, but Jin Urso is always a great, great decision for Jan, because just having a free evade, it's like, cool, the Hawk has 2 focuses and an evade token. What are you going to do? Shoot it? No. There we go. That's fine. But no, thank you, Nobby, for having us on. It was really really fun. No, glad you enjoyed it, uh, Telonius. That's a word. Thank you guys for the follows as well. We've got shrimp, 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 shrimp. PJ SNTX and Mud Monster. Yeah. Um, yeah, it was not a problem. Yeah, Lando is fun, but I don't like Lando's variants. I don't like Lando's variants. Cheers to the stream. Missed the first 45 minutes. Watch that back later. Yeah, XY was amazing. Um, yeah. Hey, no worries. And it's really, really, really is a really fun list. I hope you guys enjoy the list. But I'd recommend giving it a go. Like, see what goes with you. I think the core of the list is those three ships. You need Jake, you need Wolf, and you need Jan. Anything else, you just need a concussion bomb carrier. So Dutch is good. Anything else that has a bomb slot. Alrighty. What have we got? Would you consider changing anything on Miranda? Maybe. I mean, you've got advanced protons. Those are 5 points. Um, there's a lot of options on Miranda. I definitely haven't covered all of them. Doesn't have to be Miranda. Could be a normal K-wing. I I like the Diamond Boron because I'm compensating for the Swarm matchup. So that's my decision. Um, yeah, go on, Nobby. Go to bed. Go to bed. Quite possibly Phil, but it depends if I have time because I'm, yeah. I decided I wanted to get this one out there because I haven't put a video out for ages. But I do need to go and get some stuff done. Hey Nick, you missed it all. Oh no, go back and watch it on YouTube or something. This will be on my YouTube channel pretty much immediately because the stream one should be live. However, I will make sure that the video itself is on YouTube at some point soon. So thank you very much, lovely people. Have a wonderful evening, and I will be back soon. So catch you guys later. Ta-ra.